a second. Okay. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So rotation, sector rotation. We were looking for that yesterday, and it started in a relatively, not relatively, it was big. It was big. Money flowed into this mid caps and the small caps, and some of the regionals, and some of the junk. There were lots of wide range bars out of bases. And so let us take a look. Let's, as we normally do. All right. So there was this rejection yesterday, not in a big way, but we were anticipating that prices were likely to not get very far. Why? Because they're extended short term and they're just consolidating here. It's not a big deal. Right? Now, if they trade under here today, so far they're holding that support. Right? Same stuff. Look to the left. Uh, if they hold here, then they begin to build a base. Maybe have a green day. Uh, Maybe could be off to the races again. However, short term is extended from the 20. Minor support is down here. If it violates this, the next support level is down here below the 6,200 level. So it's a whole number. You want to respect that. And so that next level down there, that is the first one. And so prices have come up from here a little bit. Traders are anticipating right now. This is in a downtrend. And if that doesn't hold, well, it opens up into the void below. Now, one of the things to look for, and you can look on SPY as well, of course, is this downtrend continues, accelerates down into here, and if it should, then let me get my little drawing thing here. I was mentioning in Paul's room, if it comes down here and pokes underneath here, and then we were to get a little breakdown failure as it takes out these pivots. So that's one thing to be looking for in the short term. This morning, coming down there, a little whipsaw, and then maybe it can move its way back up again. If not, it's got lots of room to come down here, but there's no news of significance coming out. The ADP report was already out. So I think it's going to be more ping pong and the rotation idea, meaning, why do I want to bother with this? Right now, after yesterday's move, these are the futures. It backed off at the end of the day yesterday, but after yesterday's move and all of these wide range bars, let me go to IWM. This has got lots of room to go up. We've got a wide range bar, right? It backed off, and there's lots of stocks that have this coming out of a base. So yesterday's low, since it's a wide range bar, is a significant support level on IWM. You can see it's essentially unchanged here, backed off a little bit. Not a big deal. And today since yesterday was a wide range bar, today may just be a consolidation day. And that would be great. Having a consolidation day after a wide range day often happens. And so I think most are now looking for this to come up here. Mid caps, rotation. And next level is up here. And kind of backed off the same way. This is a little cleaner, a little bit more support, a little more, I guess cleaner is a good word, organized way of it forming this base on the mid caps and then the breakout yesterday. We want to see it stay in the upper part of this bar, looking for more continuation, for it to go higher. Um, which is this? Is this weekly? This is the weekly. We discussed weekly charts yesterday, the wide range bar from last week, consolidation, the beginnings of the breakout, um, transports. They continued higher. They closed above the 200. Right? Another positive event. Right? So S&Ps, Qs, right? Extended short term. Longs here don't make sense other than if you're trading intraday, maybe they make a move of some significance if you're trading these in intraday. I will point out as I'm looking at this, the Qs were the weakest. Got a head and shoulders top here and a neckline. So far, that's holding. Now, the good part is, which was a little bit painful as far as the chop went, prior to this, is that it left congestion areas. And so if this should break, it could be a quick move down to this 540 area where this other pivot low is. And just looking where that is on the daily time frame, I guess that would be relatively normal. It's lining up close to that minor support. You see my cursor on the daily chart. It's above that pivot high. So that would be a normal pullback on the daily time frame when the 20 MA is rising. So short term on the 65, that's actually a 180. I guess we were looking at that the other day. Let's put it on a 65 minute. It's just going to expand the same thing. Right? But it just looks like a bigger head and shoulders top now. Right? And there's our neckline and there's our little void for prices to potentially pull back from. I think that's a bad tick. So getting above yesterday's high to today, it could. Getting above the high of this move today without news, I think highly unlikely. The majority are going to be looking to buy pullbacks. And so as we look at this intraday, it could come down here. And if it does, what I'd be looking for is a correction bar, right? Form a bottoming tail bar. So down here, we want to go to our 5-minute charts and start looking for longs down at that support level. All right. IWM, little rejection there on the 65 minute. So they have pivots, there's minor support. And this is where we want to apply the concept of creating support. Meaning, yeah, there's that minor support level there, but you see the way that went up yesterday. And if I go down, we could look at it on the 15-minute. There's very little of any kind of significant support there. So as prices come down to minor support on the 5-minute chart, I'm going to want to see some backing and filling, some breakdown failures. So right now, we're kind of in limbo as to directional. Things are down here a little bit pre-market. Yesterday was this rally day, transports, Russell, mid caps, but there's tons of stocks that are beaten down and with these wide range bars coming out of consolidations. I mean, there's just more than you can imagine to list anyway. Internals, right? We discussed yesterday. One sentiment gauge was getting to a higher level. Now two of them. Breadth is still relatively low. It's got room to go up. And one of our discussion points were that for this to move up, we wanted to see that rotation. And it happened. So now, do those stocks continue to move higher? If they consolidate today, great. It builds a longer intraday base. Interest rates, come on, up here a little bit. They're trending down. Still good. They're not down at support yet. So ideally, they continue to grind lower. And Bitcoin, let's take a peek. It's up decently today. This, I thought this would be lower, you know, after this little rejection that happened there and the down bar, but that's getting reversed today. There's nothing to do, but if it can close like this, that'll be encouraging that it's consolidating up here at this level. Yeah. Crude oil, yeah, I was mentioning oil. Basing, there's a giant void. You know, the way it came down, but look at this 65-minute base, right? Part of our discussion yesterday, we had this discussion yesterday in the room as ideas were being thrown out. And I forget, someone threw out ideas about shorting something that was in an uptrend. It wasn't even that extended. Others pointed out reversals, things that were down. So as a general rule, if you want to fade something that could be extended to the upside or extended to the downside, that's my rule anyway. So I can tell you my rule is that you want to go to this 65-minute chart and see if it's extended lower, is it forming some kind of a base? Is there evidence of breakdown failures? So even though this would be a counter trend trade, if it could clear this base, there's the potential for short-term trades or a counter trend trade. That's a smart way to do it. Meaning, oh, you don't just think, oh, it's extended too much or it can't, it shouldn't go down much. You have to apply some type of trading plan. And so this is basing. Can it break out? Maybe we'll keep an eye on that. And so oil stocks, maybe you'll play some catch up today. Gold in the middle of nowhere, the middle of the trading range, not doing anything. And it had, a nice move up there. It's up at resistance. So silver, just marking time, still marking time. And I'm going to do the SPX. I'm going to check the numbers. Where did my Windows somehow equity put call? I don't know why this happens. It closes the quotes. Just to check this numbers. So let's SPY essentially is unchanged. SPX, this is where things were before I started talking with Paul, and he gave me a little brain damage. What charts, my gosh. 35. So this came down a little as the market came down. It's not going up here today. News is out. It's probably not going to either one today. It's relatively far away, 62.30, and that came down a little bit from what it was before. So I would say most are looking to buy pullbacks, right? Short-term extended, 61.50, the half number support. So this would be okay. You got lines of defense. Kill this. There's that line. It lines up exactly with that pivot on the 65-minute chart. So you've got support there and you've got a whole number and things being down a little bit as they are, essentially unchanged. News being out. Like most days, it's not going to either one. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, yesterday in the green room, we talked about definition of melt up. And it's, I was laughing this morning when I woke up, turn on the news. And in my mind, melt up is every day you expect to look at that CNBC ticker, and every day you just expect it to be up over 100 points. And that's exactly what happened again this morning. I'm like, there you go, just another update, melt up. Raul here. Let's see what he has for us. I think you asked me this one yesterday. I don't like the deep bottoming tail back to resistance and this resistance. I think we can find the weekly's not bad. So a pattern like this, I would want a couple more sideways days. I just think we can find a whole lot better. That's a whole lot better. You got that resistance, but yesterday was range expansion bar, bullish 15. Ideally, you get a 1, 2, 3, but that one's much better than that first one. Thomas Sig. That one's better. Kind of a bull rectangle, but a 180 closing breakout. XLE, I don't like it all, except date. You hear me saying this all the time. I personally don't like when they just come down in one ugly red bar. Um, just day trades or put spreads. MPC. Better, but still, I would want something more. It's just in a trading range. Alarms, Akamai. Let's say, do y'all remember I said like 10 times? This would be a breakout, which it did yesterday. And I don't know how to quantify it. But I said 10 times. I just don't know how much oomph this has. Another example of it coming down in one bar, and yes, it's building a base. And I said, I think you're going to need a news catalyst to get it moving. Autodesk, we're in trail mode. Break even stop, that looks good. Toll and Len in the housing sector, I'm watching this pullback. I got alarms up there, and both of them look good. XLF, we are long in the ETF letter. A couple of banks have been strong, and there's a bunch of them that said they're increasing their dividend. No, but most of them are extended. Tesla here, rocking pre-market, but no pattern. It's just that's a big friggin' mess. On that gap down yesterday, they had fewer quarterly sales over in Europe, I think, and then Musk fighting with Trump. Couple earnings things here. UNF gapped up, got slammed down, no interest. And that's it. All these other things are just, I think, miscellaneous. Mighty Mo got an upgrade, but it's a bearish topping pattern. So I set an alarm at 58.20 as a short. Rost, I think, got an upgrade. That'll be a no-brainer put spread if there's any juice. ABAB, I mentioned call spread yesterday, gap down from the Climo. Looks like a day trade short also. I think they're doing a secondary offering, but I looked, there was no premium up there. And I think there's no weeklies. Bravo Victor, it looks like there's a print down here at 15. If so, that's a nasty gap. GBX, it either had earnings or a firm, something or other, but gap's too big. There's our XLF. Apple got an upgrade, and that was a nice breakout on Monday. How's it room to go? It'd be a no-brainer put spread, but no juice with VIX low. It's been harder to find good premium. On Netflix, why am I looking at Netflix? It's a call spread idea, gapping up a little bit here, maybe 30-minute low. Oh, that's why. On Netflix and Spot are talking about doing some deal. They both look like call spread candidates. And look at this deep retracement on the daily. It's great. That's a multi-bar breakout failure, which is close to being a 180 on the weekly. After this thing's run, doubled. Looks like that was a short-term high. XLY, we're already long in the ETF ladder. I was bidding pre-market, particularly with the market coming in a little bit. I was bidding 217.50 and I did not get filled, obviously. But I'm looking to add Mogo. Looks like a little pump and dumpers. CNC, I don't know what's going on here. That's getting its head chopped off today. Pelletier, call spread idea, breakout failure, ugly red bar, up a lot, weekly, monthly. Tesla, we talked about Siri. Igniting, closing breakout. Has room up to 25. Watch that on a pullback. Triple W. I would like a 1, 2, 3. No, that's the one Raul mentioned and Sig. Okay, got those. Target for Thomas. Yeah, it's an igniting. Yeah, I think that Greg mentioned that and we looked at them. Yeah, I think I got that up my list up here somewhere. But that could be a 30-minute high or ideally a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I remember target. Yeah, Greg mentioned a couple. They're in my list up here where there was no premium for put spreads, but I said they'd be good candidates for 1, 2, 3s. Let me set an alarm 104.60 or 104.50. It'll be early. This bull we bought yesterday. Wow, yesterday's volume even dwarfed Mondays. It kind of went nowhere. But it looks like a bottoming pattern. I shorted naked puts also. Tro, I said, would be a 1, 2, 3 if we get it. Artoe, is that something about ether? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's fine. A little bit far from the 20, but if you get a 1, 2, 3, it's fine. It's strong. Mark, a little similar to that target. That's a 1, 2, 3. Let me set an alarm on that. 82.50. And I already looked yesterday for premium. There's nothing. I remember Pfizer also was on that list. Target. All right, target alarm. Ideally, we get a 30-minute high on this. Let me put it down here. Jeffrey's alarm. I canceled this. It was a long in the weekend letter and I canceled it. If we get 1 or 2 more inside bars, then I like it as a directional over all the highs. Diamonds the weakest here. I actually nibbled just, only did 100 shares at TNA this pre-market. I did it right here at 34.77. So I think I'm going to put a stop 5-minute low. Diamonds, what? Diamonds were rocking yesterday. What is dragging it today? UNH down 5. I mean, Microsoft down 3. Apple has a buy setup That's Microsoft. Microsoft's a calls for an idea or tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is the last day of the trading week. But look at that 15-minute buy setup. If that, this bar is being made, so the 15-minute trigger would be over that bar's high after, all right, and it's TNA. All right, I'm gonna give it 5-minute low, but not liking it. Not liking the morning action. Rig T alarm. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that circle. Rig T. Remember I posted it and then canceled it? Ideally it closes like this. And then the entry is over Monday's high. Yeah, Greg, I got those already. Yeah, I got all that already.
Okay, great.
All right, Merck. 30-minute high, possible ideal. Akamai. Yeah, that's the one. No oomph. XLY. Pulling back here. That would be a great 1, 2, 3 for tomorrow if it closed like this. And I'm out of my TNA. Adobe. Yeah. Oh, nice. He was on probation yesterday. With that green bar. Yeah, we're already in it. Set new alarms. 375. On 388. All this. It's QUBT. It's too sloppy for me. It's range bound in an uptrend, but look at all that resistance to the left. I'll assume it has to chop around more. Burke alarm. Sam, this was your list yesterday. Burke alarm. Now, 30-minute low, I'd feel better. Let it or just let it take out last week's low. Q's strong. That Apple I mentioned 15-minute buy setup. Wow, that ripped. You would have had to go to a 5-minute buy setup to get on board. Look, you could have bought 5-minute high. 5-minute high day trade would have been fine on Apple. That's the best looking thing. Wow.
Did you
Thanks.
see Adobe?
We're in it. Yeah,
I'm saying
I
it
saw.
gapped down significant.
Yeah, no, Alex just mentioned it. Yeah, we're in it.
You got lucky, man.
Yeah, I know. I said it was on probation. Um, I asked McGraw to tell me when he's giving trades so we could line it up with ours. All right, I don't need IWM anymore. Let me put Adobe here. So McGraw. He did 61.45 puts. All right, so that is down here. And he did 62.30. All right, so he's just doing a condor. But he's sure selling tail risk because for him $20 wide, he's only taking in 40 cents on one and 60 on the other. So he took in $1 on the condor. But I see what he's doing. He's looking at his levels and saying we're not gonna have big moves up or down. That's what a condor is. So I get it. All right, he's told um Toll and Lynn. Man, I wish this had premium too. Maybe I didn't look at next week. Let me see if there's premium at 110s. I'd go to next week. I don't mind. 110s, 65 by 90. They're spreading. Let's see, $4. $4 wide, 50 cent, 47. Now 67. I'm gonna try 67. All right, I sent my order 67. I'll tell you if I get filled. On Len. X. Oh, wow. Yeah, for us though, Alex, we give them more room, but if it were a swing trade, I would agree with you. But for our ETF letter, all right, let's cover a third just to put some money in the bank. Well done. let me answer that. Because it's not, what, hold on, posting this. All right, target. Was the entry yesterday? 100%. 100%. 15 or 30-minute high, 100%. But that's not the end of the discussion. Correct. The continued conversation is, do I have a compelling setup now? The answer is yeah, it's an igniting bar from a multi-month with a void. I say target 113. So now we go down to smaller time frames, the daily 1565, and look for my area where I want to strike.
If you want to.
If you what?
Meaning.
I didn't
said
hear you.
yesterday too. Said yesterday as well. Otherwise, just buy it and put a share sizing under yesterday's low.
Right, but you see why I'm having this talk and making these comments. The entry was yesterday, but it's still a new trade. And I have it right here in the bottom right, watching for my entry. But yeah, you could do third, half, all, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have had to have been focused on it yesterday, and I don't, just from the pattern, I don't know why anybody would focus.
Am I
on
the
it.
only one who can't hear you today?
I don't know why you can't hear me. Maybe I adjusted the mic for McGraw.
Yeah, volume's very low. I keep turning mine up. My speaker. Yeah, McGraw's is extremely loud, so I had to turn mine down for him too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, let's just buy a third right here and then look to add. And then we'll do a third 30-minute high.
IBM. I haven't looked at the options yet, but that could be a call spread. Yeah, I adjusted it. I've been that day that you said the TV was so loud, it was on automatic. So I've been kind of moving the slider, trying to get it where it seems to be good.
I'm gonna try to sell some $100 puts on target, but I want a little price improvement. Well, Alex, again, that's what Greg said, and I'm we already talked about it. You can buy a third, half, 2/3, all. If you want, you can wait for a pullback, better entry. I already said it. 15 an hourly chart looking for a better entry. So there you have it. I'm trying to sell puts. All right, lift low alarm, but that's an early alarm where we are long calls. Set a new alarm 1580. And we already have stop break even. Merck. I like Target better, but I would still do a put spread on this. The 79s. I know I looked yesterday, but I'll look again. 79s next week. 16 by 64. What is a Dow 30 stock? Have such a ludicrous spread. XLY. Yeah, I agree. Yep, I'm already in it, but yeah, let me set alarms. I don't forget. Start verifying crap down. That's what we call an accident. That shouldn't have happened. Yeah. Move stop break even. Um, yeah. Wow, that thing's came roaring back. Yeah, I like it, Thomas. Yeah, but just to be respectful, you got to call it Mr. T. 28 puts for next week for only 12 cents. But do 110 long, $120. 28. 28 is, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Dirk didn't fill me at midpoint. But yeah, I like it. How's your Burke? Hey, your Burke is, yeah, you can short day trade low. If it didn't have this hump over here, if it were totally fluid, I would say do a swing. But you can do day trade short, stop day swing. 30-minute low. All right. Let's look at opens here. Airbnb. Stop 132.08. We're only in half. Maybe I'm gonna leave it half. You just got a lot of junk over here. I'm not sure about the target. That's what I said the whole time. The target. Oh, glad, man. I'm so happy I canceled Ralph Lauren yesterday. That saved us. Actually, another accident there. That shouldn't have happened. PayPal. It's top of the range. I mean, it's strong daily, weekly. I'm just not crazy about the entry here. Uber. I like Uber better because it's a bull rectangle after a gap. So yes, I like Uber better.
don't hear a thing, Dan, from your mic. Or your, whatever they're doing at your home. It's not coming through the room.